Hello and welcome to all of you. I hope that the whole family is well and taking care of themselves. Here's the next episode of Crime Tech. In this episode of the story, today's story is that a case has been filed against the murder of a ghost. And this case goes to the lower court, where the verdict is given. After this, the verdict is challenged and reaches the High Court. And then, the High Court also gives the verdict in this case. Now the question is, if something is not shown or heard, why and how can a case of such a murder of a ghost be filed? Can a ghost be murdered? This is about 1958. There is a place in Odisha, in Balasore district, called Rasgovindpur. This whole area is a tribal area. There are many tribal people who used to be live here, also Santhali or Majik peoples. This place is having a large population. This is the area where people, especially locals, believe in ghosts and spirits a lot. In this Balasore district, and near this place, there is an old small airport. But by 1958, there was no use for this airport. It wasn't active that yet. It was old and closed. But the things connected to the airport were covered in rubble. You can call it an air scrap. They were lying there. So, there were many scraps of metal and all these things lying there, which were very valuable. So, to protect this airport and those scrap metals, 2 security guards were deployed there. One of them was called Dibaka and the other was called Govind. They were both given duties there. And in the evening, the area would become deserted because of the fear of ghosts. This area, the specialty was that at night, people scared to travels and hardly coming out from their houses. They were scared that a ghost might come and attack them. So, everything was going well. At the same time, in April 1958, a businessman from Kolkata, a kabadi dealer who used to do the work of buying scrap, reached this village. His name was Bandhu Chatterjee. Bandhu Chatterjee comes in April 1958, and the garbage of this airport was to be disposed of, and he had to buy it. Now he had to stay there for a long time for this, so he stayed near the airport. He brought a Nepalese servant with him. His name was Ram Bahadur. In the beginning of May's first week, in fact, the date was May 20th, 1958. Bandhu Chatterjee was sitting outside the airport at a tea stall, along with Ram Bahadur, Pikar, and the other guard, Govind. Then suddenly, they saw a man coming over there, who was from the same local village. First, he took a cup of tea, and then said, "Tonight, I would stay here, in this shop, and not go to my village." Now, this person's name was Chandraman. He came to the tea shop at around 9 p.m. and said that he would go to his village tomorrow in the morning. So, after getting his words, Bandhu Chatterjee and Ram Bahadur amazed. He was very surprised and asked why he wouldn't go there at night, where he replied, "I couldn't go at night, because what if I would find ghosts on the way?" Immediately, these people laughed and asked that man, "How will we get it?" "Yes, you get ghosts at night in this place," man replied. The shopkeeper was listening all their talks. His name is Krishna Chandra. After a while, Bandhu Chatterjee said that we also want to meet ghosts. "How does it possible?" Ram Bahadur also agreed, and he repeated Bandhu's words. Krishna Chandra, the tea vendor, refused and said that you should not. It can be dangerous. Chandramanshi, who had come to that village, had to go to his own village back, but not at night. So he refuses their request. But Chatterjee has forced him a lot and said, "Once I was satisfied to see a ghost, then we all go together, then there will be nothing to afraid of." Finally, the tea vendor Krishna Chandra was ready. Then the 2 villages plus Bandhu and Ram Bahadur stands ready to go in. They even leave the shop to see the ghosts. Now the whole area of the airport is surrounded by footpaths, and there was a government light only, which we also know as a street light. By chance, On the night of 1958, the wind was blowing very strongly, but all four of them were kept moving forward in the search of ghosts. They were looking side by side if there is an spirit or ghosts along the way. They went a little further. The youngest of them was Ram Bahadur, who was very brave, and he was moving forward. When he started moving forward, the moon signaled him to stop. Everyone saw what was ahead. He tried to stop Ram Bahadur. He saw the light in front of him, but the wind was strong, and there were trees around. And through that light, the shadow of the image was coming onto the road, and it felt like the light was moving. The image that was visible felt like you must have seen it many times. There are things that make you feel like a human being, which indicates a picture of human actions on the ground. They want to go see ghosts in the atmosphere of strong wind at night, where they found the whole area was dark, which made them scared. And second, with the light, the strong winds, and the human image on the ground, sometimes it rises, sometimes it disappears. What is it? Now, everyone thought that the ghost was the local person, Chandramali, but Ram Bahadur was the first to come. Ram Bahadur was close to the light, saw the shadow moving, and thought that it was a ghost. He had a traditional kokari. He took out the kokari and started spinning it in the air, like the shadows moving in the air. He was afraid that these were ghosts, and he was spinning the kokari in the shadows. During this time, those three reached back in the village, where they saw that Krishna was getting close. He turned around and saw that Krishna was in the sand. Krishna was wounded, and he screamed out loudly. "What are you doing?" they asked. "I am not a ghost," he replied. Till then, Ram Bahadur thought that these three of us had stopped turning around. When they stopped, there was the sound of some sobbing and screaming, and these people became more scared. That was the sound of women. Now they looked around and saw what was going on. It was really a ghost. They saw a strange streetlight. Apart from that, they saw some light coming from the trees. They thought it could be a ghost, but when the ghost came and screamed, they went closer. Now they prepared a plan. On one side, the villager people used to catch ghosts in the night. On the other side, suddenly Ram Bahadur came, and he felt that these were ghosts. So when he was spinning the skull, one skull was also sent to a woman. That woman was hit by a skull. The woman was injured. When they saw her, they found out the truth. They immediately took her to the hospital. She is a real human being. She must be doing some work. But unfortunately, in the morning, the woman died. On her death, the matter reached to the police. The police asked for the whole story. Everyone spoke the truth. Whether it was Bandhu Chatterjee, Krishna Chandra, Deepak, or Ram Bahadur himself, who said that he went and thought it was a ghost, and he started spinning the skull in the air. He said that he had no idea between the woman or a ghost. In addition, his eye intentions was pure. But we all know that the woman was murdered and injured. The case was to be filed. Ram Bahadur was arrested by the police. After that, the charge sheet was ready. The case was sent to the lower court. A strange case was heard in the lower court. The government lawyer said that Ram Bahadur had killed a woman, and that is why, under Section 302 of the IPC, the punishment should be given to him. Ram Bahadur's lawyer said that he was killed by someone. Also, this murder was done unknowingly. He was very scared of ghosts. And to save himself from ghosts, he was throwing a skull in the air. Krishna Chandra was injured, but he survived. But the other woman, Adivasi, was injured, and she died. So this was not done intentionally. It was not a murder. So on behalf of this, he was forgiven. But there was a long debate on how this could happen. There were arguments from both sides. In the end, the lower court gave its verdict, and it is believed that this murder was done by Ram Bahadur, so they were punished for it. But the court said that no, they should not be punished, and they should be released directly, because they had not attempted to kill. The women from the village who were killed, their families were angry. Then the police also thought What is this? The High Court of Odisha challenged the decision of the lower court about this strange case. But despite this, there is no evidence. The kukri who was killed is also with the police. Everything was present with the police: evidence, witnesses, and eyewitnesses. But still, the court left it. When this case reached the High Court, everyone was convinced that the decision would be very strict. Now, the debate has started in the High Court, and the debate in the High Court went on for a long time. The court heard the whole story and the decision of the lower court, and after that, the case started at 302 and came and went. IPSI Section 79. The decision in the entire case was made by IPSI 79. Now, why the IPSI 79? 302 case. And what does it mean? So IPSI 79 says that if you don't know facts, and if you don't know the truth about facts, and if you commit a crime, then you can be forgiven. After the debate, the court ruled that when Ram Bahadur reached there that night, there was a strong breeze in the middle of the night, and trees and plants were all moving. He was making a shadow, a reflection of a human being. And when he reached there from the tea shop, the four of them had the same goal and the same thought as they wanted to see ghosts. So, the whole scene was that the ghost and those all over in their minds. So the facts here were that he was acting like a ghost and attacking a ghost, not a human being. So when IPSI Section 79 came up, and after that, the court heard the whole story, a historic decision of the High Court came. And the High Court said that whatever happened that night was all for the ghost. Therefore, the lower court decision was correct. And there should not be any case against Ram Bahadur. He should be acquitted in this case. And the Odisha High Court acquitted Ram Bahadur. So a woman's murder happened at the hands of a man. In a way, this whole case was named as the murder of a ghost, because he was killing the ghost. But he was a dead man. So this was one of the most serious cases in the country.